My name is Nick Testani, and I'm the president of the Fayetteville Manlius High School Broadcast and Digital Journalism Club.
I'm John Hallahan, and I'm a junior, and I'm from ESM.
It is my honor to welcome you to the 16th annual CNY High School Film Fest. This year we have had over 120 submissions from 6 different schools. They are being judged by 15 film professionals from our region this year. That is a record for this year. We are presenting awards in categories for sports, news, documentaries, animation and time-lapse, music videos, original films, PSAs and commercials, talk shows, and the newly created quarantine videos, which is videos created during the quarantine. I hope you enjoy our films tonight. The students have worked very hard, and we are proud to present them. The first category we're presenting awards for tonight is sports. The students have worked hard to present highlight packages from their local teams as well as national teams too. These include interviews and other parts from their games.
Although sports are a very competitive part of the culture at FM, kindness plays a very important role in teamwork and success within sports. One of the ways athletes achieve this is through positivity and supporting each other throughout their struggles within their competition. Swim coach Tim Gallivan talks about the importance of kindness to teammates.
I think kindness, on the micro scale is huge in sports. We have the opportunity every single day to either build each other up or break each other down. So if you can, for the 120 minutes that we have each and every day, build somebody, whether it's somebody in your lane or somebody on the field with you, up. I think that's huge. We do that on a large scale with the Positivity Project here. But if you have any opportunity to make anyone else feel better, that's truly significant. The world's hard enough by yourself, so if you can help somebody else along the way, that'd be great.
Not only do we see the use of kindness within FM's own teams, but also with sportsmanship towards opposing teams. Athletic Director Scott Sugar talks more about how kindness impacts the games.
Even though we compete at the highest level and we want to win every game, I think one of the things we've seen is as we play teams in our league more often, our athletes get to know each other. So even though they compete at the highest level, after the game, there's always that camaraderie of congratulatory handshake.
Make sure to remember that to use kindness and sportsmanship not only in sports but out of sports as well. For FMTV, I'm Kendra.
Hello and welcome to the long-awaited return of your favorite show, Hornets Corner. This week we're highlighting the boys basketball team ahead of their pink out game Saturday afternoon.
Today we caught up with seniors Charlie and Sal to see how the season's going so far.
Thanks guys. So today I'm joined by seniors on the basketball team, Sal and Gaydoh and Charlie Gadsden. So Sal, tell us how the season's going so far.
Season's going pretty good. We've taken a couple of heartbreaking losses, but we're just trying to get over that hump and make a playoff push to end our season.
Nice. So, Charlie, last year may have been a rough year, and you've clearly improved this season. What's been different?
What I'd say has been different is we just have a lot more experience this year. Last year we were a really young team. We didn't have a lot of players with experience on varsity before, and I think this summer we got a lot of work in and a lot of experience.
So the program's been in transition for a few years. You've had a couple different coaches. How do you expect this transition to progress?
After we're gone, I think we're starting to have a lot of younger guys play up and get more experience, and I think that's a really good thing because then they'll be on varsity for multiple years, and they'll be able to be good leaders because they'll know what they're doing out there.
So Sal, pink outs tonight. What do you need from the fans?
Pink out's always a special game. We got a really tough opponent. We need all the help we can get. Every fan has to be dressed in pink, supporting us right behind our bench.
Back to you guys.
Thanks, Jack. Good luck to the boys Saturday against West Jenny.
Make sure you come out to see the girls at noon and the boys at 2. Thanks for tuning in to Hornets Corner.
You might know the girls' varsity volleyball team as students in school, but you might not know them as teammates. The girls' varsity volleyball team has excelled this season with winning 2 tournaments and having a 13-4 record so far. The players believe the key to success is to have supportive teammates and a team that gels together nicely and gets along, as well as captains and coaches that work together to try and accomplish winning sectionals this year. Harper Stobaker, a standout junior on the team, thinks doing activities out of practice affects the way they play together as a whole on the court.
We just do fun team bonding things, like going to the boys' games. We always all go to them, and it's really fun because our programs are so connected that we get to hang out with each other outside of the court.
The Hornets have qualified for sectional semifinals, and they will take on the North Stars at CNS for the second round. Make sure to go out and support the girls varsity volleyball team today at 7 p.m. For FMTV, I'm Halle.
Nick's picks. Always right, never wrong.
Super Bowl 54 takes place in warm and sunny Miami. It pits two of the NFL's newest rising stars and two of the NFL's newest dynasties, the Chiefs and the 49ers. Pat Mahomes versus the handsome Jimmy Garoppolo, and boy, it will be a game.
Hit! Checks that hit!
The 49ers have punished the teams in the playoffs behind the best offensive line in football, while the Chiefs, on the other hand, have had to come back from behind each game just to dominate in the end. One thing in this game you can expect is points. For my pick, I like the team in red with this one. For my pick, I'm going with the Chiefs. They're going to win this one because they've proven themselves in clutch situations. Final score, Chiefs 31, 49ers 28.
And we have our awards for the sports news category. Third place this year went to Hornets Corner Pink Out. Second place, Nick's Picks for his Super Bowl predictions. And in first place, Girls Volleyball. And our next category is the 15 seconds of film, where students are asked to represent famous Hollywood films in 15 seconds or less. And this year, the twist was to include an incorrect character.
Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get.
Those are the plastics. Regina George, the star. The other two are just her minions.
10 bag in a mesh. Race so many rotten diamonds on the band.
You think everyone's in love with you, but actually everybody hates you.
"15 seconds of Hollywood." Third place, Kylo in U.S. School not listed. Second place, Bane Gump. And first place, Not Your Basic Mean Girls, ITC.
The next category we're presenting awards for is the news packages. Those can include school news, local news, or even national news that the students have chose to cover.
For the second category, we have news.
Spartan Stage, a well-known theater group in the Syracuse area, is to perform Rodgers and Hammerstein's Cinderella this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday for its end-of-winter musical. Mr. Brandon, the director, expresses the week of the show is the most stressful in terms of putting the show together.
So the process of the last 2 weeks of putting together the show is stressful, but it's also really exciting because it's taking all the different components that groups have been working on individually and putting them all together to create what you see on the stage.
A Spartan Stage alum, Miss Merritt, is taking on the professional role of stage manager this year. She is teaching future seniors the job so they can take over next year.
So when I was in high school, I was ESM's first ever stage manager for a musical here, and my role consisted of doing what I'm doing now, where I'm teaching students here that we're learning how to record down all the director's notes that they need in the script. We also call the show, so what that means is that we are the ones making sure all the lights are going on the same time and making sure everyone knows what they're supposed to be doing at all times. We're mic'd ready to go during the performances and rehearsals.
After Spartan Stage's production of Clue on stage earlier this year, Cinderella is sure to have a different mood and effect on the people from murder mystery to fairy tale fiction. The cast and crew are ready to take the stage this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Tickets are $10 at the door or at esmchs.booktix.com. Feel free to email spartanstage@esmschools.org with any more information.
If you've ever driven down the main street of Manlius, you may have noticed a small building which houses the Manlius Art Cinema. But what you may not know about this nondescript theater is that it's been here for over 100 years. The cinema has a long and significant history. At the time of its opening in 1919, it only showed silent pictures, moving to full sound talkies in 1932. Save for a fire in the 40s, the theater has been operating continuously since then. Nat Tobin, who has owned the theater for 28 years, told us a bit of what he feels is the impact of the theater.
The cultural fabric of the community. We not only do independent and foreign language movies, but we are now doing live captured London stage productions. We do a series on artists, and we are going to do a series on composers. So we're very active in the community, and I think that that has established us as a brand.
If you're interested in learning more about the theater and its programming, you can visit its Facebook page, Manlius Art Cinema, or its website, manliusartcinema.com. For FMTV, I'm Audra.
As most of you know, Mr. Minch, a beloved teacher, is retiring this year. He's played a very important role in the community for many years.
On July 28, 1914, Austria declared war against Serbia.
Mr. Minch's unique teaching methods help lead to a better understanding of material. Many students specifically remember his methods, such as his challenges and morning routine. There's no doubt in anyone's mind that Mr. Minch has had an impact on not only the students he's had in class, but also those he's coached. He's done a great job throughout the years of creating a sense of family within the classroom and has formed many treasured relations.
We're going to spend 180 days together. There should be some special moments, and that every person has such significance in class. Because of their differences, it forms a unique group.
Whatever Mr. Minch decides to do after he retires, we're sure he'll leave a positive impact just like he has at FM. For FMTV, I'm Ryan Hill.
This year, many renovations have been made throughout the school, including the library and a number of bathrooms. Another big change was upstairs LGI 1209. 2 years ago, Assemblyman Al Starpy provided the school with a grant for the changes, and upon completion, the room has a vastly different look. Dr. Kilmer explained the motivation for these changes and is excited for the space to be put into use.
One of the big pieces is to make it more accessible for students. If you remember, similar to downstairs, you had to go down 4 or 5 steps to get to the lower area. And it didn't really have a lot of flexibility when you think about its space. It was very, very rigid. It was a lecture setting. And so there's not a lot of things that we do anymore, which is all lecture seating.
The renovation was planned by the same architects that designed the library, which gives these spaces a cohesive look. The new LGI will be a usable space for students and staff in the future. For FMTV, I'm Daniel.
This past Saturday, the FM High School Music Department hosted the annual dessert concert, where each music group performed their share of popular music. From movie music to the Beatles, there was something for everyone to enjoy. Ms. Bizup says that this concert is not as hard to pick music for as other concerts.
It's hard to go wrong. There's always someone who likes what you choose for the Pops concert, and I think each group probably goes about it a different way.
Unlike previous years, the dessert concert was split up into 2 concerts.
Yeah, on 4 o'clock we have concert band, concert orchestra, concert choir, and string orchestra. And then on 7 o'clock we have wind ensemble, symphony orchestra, and chorale. And that decision is basically based on the students that are shared within groups.
As per usual, the dessert concert was a success. Thanks to everyone who participated.
The dance team perform at sporting events and pep rallies, but behind the scenes they are more than just dancers. The sense of community within the team has helped them come up with amazing routines. Co-captain Ariana White says that collaborating with co-captains Diana Morley and Abby Place create a good flow of ideas when choreographing. Their dance can be choreographed in as short as a month or as long as a year, but they always have each other to rely on. The bond the dancers have helped create with each other has always helped them perform at their best.
We have a group huddle,
and then we have like a secret chant thing that we do, and we just give each other good luck stars. And it's just our little way of knowing that we're all together in it and that the performance is going to be awesome.
Day in and day out, the dance team works hard to create entertaining dances. They love to perform at homecoming and are looking forward to performing at DM this March. For FMTV, I'm Sam Kellish.
Town of Manlius Officer of the Year, Damian Golden, has been a part of Fayetteville Manlius High School now for the past 6 years, offering safety and security to the students and staff. Earlier this year, Officer Golden was offered the opportunity to progress towards a promotion, but decided it was in his best interest for himself and the community to stay here. He shares with us that he loves communicating with the students, and his door is always open to talk with him and ask him for advice.
Being in policing and working with you kids is generally what I gear towards doing, because I feel like it's profitable to get involved with what the kids do, and it transferred out to what the guys do out on the road. So it's a good connection. It's a good way to be a support and a resource for you guys, so you're not so afraid, or when you have to deal with the police, there's a comfort level.
Officer Golden has proven and will continue to prove that he's a key asset to our community here at FM. For FMTV, I'm Luke.
Not live from Studio B. This is Baker News.
I'm Paige.
And I'm Skylar.
And thank you for actually coming to school on Wellness Day. You passed the test. As a special treat, we've got an extra long episode for you to enjoy.
On Saturday, February 8th, Baker is hosting the VEX Robotics Tournament in the gym from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. There will be 40 teams from 17 different schools. It's free to attend and concessions will be available. The last time Baker hosted a tournament, they liked the winning robot so much they decided to hire it full-time and rename it Mr. Scuderi.
The annual Baker Talent Showcase has been postponed to March 27th. This gives me plenty of time to perfect my new TikTok dances. Renegade, renegade.
Not even close.
Boom, boom.
In wider world news, an abandoned husky in New Jersey who has weird eyes has been adopted after her photos went viral. I swear I've seen that face before.
Elizabeth Warren has accused Bernie Sanders of saying that a woman could never become president. In response, Bernie stated that he merely meant that a woman could never become president in his lifetime. Lucky for women, Bernie only has about 2 days left in his tank.
In wider receiver news, simple battery charges against Odell Beckham Jr. have been dropped for his actions after the national championship game. Also being dropped is every single pass thrown to Odell Beckham Jr.
As the air gets colder this winter, the National Weather Service has advised to watch out for falling iguanas, because God has apparently grown quite bored. Here to comment is God.
Hi, I'm God.
Hey, God.
You want to hear the meaning of life?
Yeah, sure. I couldn't hear that, but thanks.
Just watch live action Cat in the Hat with Mike Myers. It's hidden in there.
Oh, I figured. Will do.
Okay, but dude, what's the deal with iguanas? Are you okay?
Look, man, don't call me dude. I'm God. Look at me, aren't I fantastic? But anyhow, the dealio with the iguanas is Mrs. God hasn't been giving me the attention I feel that I deserve. So as a result, I've resorted to my usual coping mechanism, screwing with you tiny mortals.
So what did you do with Kanye?
Oh, you like how I made him the opposite of what he used to be? Yeah, I did do that.
Thanks for your time, God, but before you go, what do you want to say to Baker High School?
Using mayo instead of butter on your grilled cheese is tastier alternative. It helps the taste and texture. Bazinga.
See you later, God.
No, you won't.
We now go to our newest in-the-field reporter, Aiden, with a high-gear interview with Mr. LeGros.
Does anybody think this reminds you of anybody here? Okay, all right, so that's Frankenstein.
What are you implying there?
You've been working out, you're buff, like you've been put together, you're jacked.
Like Frankenstein? It's not usually what the comparison is, but...
Oh, you're thinking like just the face. You do have those dark, dreamy eyes, though, so... All right, next question, let's go.
I get that a lot. How old were you when you had your first kiss?
I haven't.
You haven't had your first kiss?
All right, well, let's something like, spin the bottle or, kiss your neighbor's dog and I got the dog.
Where'd you go to college?
The train ride started at Geneseo. In fact, well, we could say that turned into a train wreck. And then we went to Brockport State University, home of the Golden Eagles, kicked it up a few notches.
What does that mean? What did I just see?
Kick it up a notch? That's basically my go-to thing when we got students in the class and you want to kick it up a notch and do better on things, right here.
Were you a jock in high school?
Gosh, I hate to use those kind of terms, That's right, that's a glasses off moment. I was a giver for everybody. It didn't matter if you were a jock or a dork or
am I a dork?
Well, yeah. I mean, we got to go back to this then. If we're not going to say dork, it's this, okay? As a jock, which I don't like to use the word, that was your word, you certainly go out and dominate. You know what I would do most of the time?
What?
Kick it up a notch!
There we go. If you could have one original quote to be remembered by, what would it be?
Kick it up! No, we're not going to go with that one. How about this? Go hard or go home.
That's not original. It's got to be from you.
I have said that. This is me talking right now. I'm starting to get a little worked up. You ever make that squash like someone like old Aunt Rita, for Thanksgiving in this bowl? There's like this mix of it's squash. Oh, it's squash. Have some?
Yeah, I don't have an Aunt Rita.
Have you ever seen the squash though? It's just like a bowl of something that ain't right. Do you like pumpkin pie?
Yeah, I like pumpkin pie.
Now, to me, that looks like congealed cat vomit.
Congealed cat vomit.
Yeah, and then you put a little whipped topping on there. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying that.
It doesn't taste like congealed cat vomit, though.
What's it taste like?
Tastes like pumpkins and normal cat vomit. You seem kind of uncomfortable.
No, I'm good. Let's kick it up a notch.
This may be the most borderline controversial interview we've done.
Yeah, it's going to be a problem, okay? I wouldn't show the whole thing.
We actually have some questions from the viewers now, if you don't mind.
Son of a gun.
This one's from another one that you know, from Mr. Colin Delaney. When you need food, do you go to the grocery store or do you grow it in your backyard?
Grow it, you get it? That's a play on words. Always been a big proponent of a big garden. Mr. Delaney, I appreciate the question.
How tall are you, Mr. LeGros?
6'5", domination.
6'5", wow. Were you born at that height, or did you grow?
Who was that from? Because I'm about to kick it up a notch on somebody's skull.
Can we get one more kick it up a notch? Even though that's a direct threat.
Kick it up a notch. Who said that? Come right here. We got some talking to do.
Well, thank you so much for doing this. I'm Aiden. I'm here with Mr. LeGros. This was my first, probably last interview on Baker News. Thank you for watching.
Be sure to check us out on Instagram at WBXL_news and on our YouTube channel, Baker News on WBXL TV.
You can also email us at wbxl@bville.org.
This has been Baker News on WBXL TV. Thanks for watching.
School news, Manlius Cinema Anniversary, FM High School. Town of Manlius Office of the Year, FM High School. And first place, Baker News on WBXL TV, Baker High School.
The original documentary section features a wide array of subjects for the documentaries this year. These can include people within their school or other fascinating stories from our communities.
I still skate with all my same homies, you know, that I grew up with, you know, so, you know, and that's that. And then like I got the bootleg boards from Walmart, and I finally got my real board when I, you know, dug my soles into the skate game, so to speak.
My first board, I traded my bike for it. I was 15, traded a BMX bike for it from Walmart. Traded it for like a real skateboard though. The first board that I actually bought myself though was like with Christmas money. I bought it in like March with my Christmas money, and then my mom, it got shipped in, and my mom hid the board on me for like another 6 months, and I found it in the closet. So I was calling the company I ordered my board from, I think it was CCS. I was calling CCS and I was like, you still didn't order it, like it's not here, like you haven't shipped it, I don't know. And then I found it in the closet, and my mom was hiding it because she didn't want me to start skating.
I think a World Industries maybe, honestly. Probably a World Industries. It was like really flat, kind of sucked. I skated it for like 2 years straight. My older brother skated, so you know, just being a child, I wanted to copy him. The reason I started skating was just to be like him, but the reason I kept skating was because like I just always wanted to be skateboarding and didn't want to do anything else. That's all I've ever really cared about since.
I went to high school in Oneida. I went to everything before that in Rome. And then I was also like living on a farm while I was living in Rome because my mom was in college and working, so I would be with my grandma and she lived on a farm, so I was there like 3 or 4 days out of the week. And then my dad lived in Syracuse right by the mall, so I would be out here for a while too. So I was all those places.
I grew up in Syracuse in the Valley. Yeah, it's the Valley and Onondaga Hill. The Everson, in my opinion, and not in my opinion, it's the fact, it's the mecca of skateboarding in Syracuse. They've always let us skate there. You know, there's been some adversity through the years where they didn't let us skate at some points, but it ultimately resolved itself. And now we can go skate there with no problems, you know, and everything's waxed up. You know, the Everson Museum is a huge part in skateboarding in Syracuse, and you know, I commend them for that, honestly. I love them.
What's your favorite go-to spot in Syracuse to skate? It could be a park, it could be a spot.
The Everson Museum of Art. It's the best place to skateboard in the whole wide world.
Why do you love this place so much?
It's really unique. There's nothing else like this out there. The architecture here is really insane. Like even just based on like the way the building looks or the way all these blocks are like laid out, it's just perfect for skateboarding, and there's like nothing that much like it.
Like repetitious things and like working towards something that feels really, really out of reach. And then just picking at it for like, you know, 8 years. Like seeing people that do tricks that have been skating for 8 years when you first started, and like skating 8 years so you can do something similar. It's working on something to refine it to the best way it can be. So like that's like, you know, repetitive tasks. You're obviously not repeating it to do it worse. I doubt it, I think. I don't think anybody repeats doing something again to do it worse the second time around. Or if it's a kickflip, the 50,000th time around over 10 years.
No one else really skateboards in FM. I just had to get friends that I already had to start skateboarding. Yeah, it's definitely really nice, like going to a place where no one skates, to having like a whole community of skateboarders. Most of my friends are from here. I kind of always just have this drive where I kind of need to be skateboarding. Like, it sounds stupid, but I'm like generally unhappy if I'm not skateboarding. I'm like kind of addicted to it. I can't live without skateboarding. Because I've just depended on it for like all like activity and happiness for so long, and I don't really want to I want to skate as long as I possibly can. Like no matter how much like responsibility or like schoolwork or having a job, like I'm still gonna use all the free time I can to be skateboarding.
The reason why I named it Twin Oaks Nursery was because I always liked oak trees because of their strength. In 1973, my two daughters helped me start the nursery. We started off with hand tools and a simple rodent tiller. And both kids had different likes. Joanne liked the trees and Michelle liked animals.
So he said, you know what, we could have a boat, we could buy a farm, we could have a farm and we could grow things, and either one, what would you guys like? And we actually said buy the farm. It's not really that much recreation, but it was wonderful.
Love for animals led me to Morrisville, where I studied horse husbandry and plants also. And then Cornell, animal science.
I started working in greenhouses for the Zarilla brothers. And I worked there so long, I got used to flowers and plants, and I really enjoyed doing it. And then I went out into the landscaping end and started planting trees. And it just grew right into me. I loved it ever since. Even now, the grandchildren are starting to come in and help us, and they're learning how to run the machinery and how to plant trees.
Working at the farm with Matt and Pop, it's made me get a lot closer to them. Planting trees.
My favorite part about the farm is seeing the trees grow over time.
Matt, my oldest grandson, has really taken to the business. He enjoys running machinery, planting shrubs, planting trees. He works in the greenhouses. And he also mows the grass. He just took a liking to the business, and I've had him since he was about 3.5 to 4 years old, working right with me on the machinery. So he does know everything that I know as far as running equipment.
You know, ever since I was growing up, going to the farm was always something we did with the family, and it just, made you feel whole when you pull up to see the big red barn. Being with my cousins, my grandfather, it's really made our relationship so much stronger, and I couldn't imagine my life any different without it.
My name is Kristen Cattell, and I was awarded a Lightning Grant from the FM Education Foundation. I teach kindergarten at Mott Road, and I asked for a flexible seating grant in order to have other options in the classroom for children to sit and learn. Not every child is able to sit for a long period of time and do the same work as everyone else. So to have options in the classroom, make sure that everyone is able to complete their work in their own way. It was nice enough that that was a lightning grant, which means I had to get my grant done quickly, and the stools came very quickly afterwards. I am going to implement them in the classroom on a daily basis. So instead of having just one child singled out for their wiggles or the fact that they can't sit still, I'm going to use them at my reading table so everyone gets a chance to use them every day. Some children might need them more than others, but the fact that everyone gets to use them every day doesn't ever single anybody out, and it makes everyone able to learn in the same way. There are some unexpected challenges in implementing these. Some of the kids' feet are not long enough to touch the floor, and we do have a rule that they have to make sure, in order nobody falls back or to wiggle too hard that nobody gets hurt on them, we have to make sure that they are safe enough to keep their hands on the table, so at least they have the stability to sit on there. Wiggle and wobble, that's what they're for, but keep your hands on the table and your feet on the floor. Now, if your hands are on the table, I am enjoying the fact that your body is safe. It's really great for those that do need to wiggle around all the time because their feet are on the ground, but their body is moving, which is still making them able to complete the work in front of them or to listen to the teacher. I think it impacts everybody in the classroom because it doesn't single anybody out. Everyone gets the opportunity to use them. Some kids need it more than others, but everyone still has the opportunity to use it once a day, and they take it to the benefit of their ability or just have fun at the back table with a different option of seating. The next step that I think that I'll do with the wiggle chairs is to have a clip chart to see if someone could use them all day long. So if it doesn't just benefit them for the 15 minutes that they're at the back table at reading group, I think I'll implement a system that everyone gets to use it for a whole day on a rotating basis, so everyone is benefited more at a lengthier period of time. We do have different options in the classroom as well, so the flexible seating was so nice to have. We've already purchased scoop chairs as a grade level here. I did use sit spots with some of my district-wide money, and the flexible seating of the wobble chairs was just my last part of the implementation because they're just bigger and a more lucrative or expensive purchase, but it still offers the same option. Not that everyone's not going to be able to ask to be seated at a table, because there are options that they will need to be able to sit and learn in an assembly, in a restaurant, in an airplane, places that ask for them to be able to calm their bodies, but to have the other option for to sit in different spots throughout the day kind of makes that reinforce that it's okay to wiggle and sometimes it's okay to sit still and sometimes. I think it just adds to the transition into kindergarten. Some of them are coming from different places, Montessori or preschool or no school at all, and so for them to be asked to walk in that front door and sit at their table for 8 hours a day is just a little bit of an expectation that I don't think they're ready to have. So to have these different options to sit and to have different fun ways to make the learning impactful for them, I think it offers a great transition into their education career. I just want to say that it was great working with everyone in the Education Foundation because it was such an easy way to get my vision implemented, and I'm very grateful for the fact that they backed me up and they are favoring the important education experiences that we have in the classroom.
Okay, I was 10 years old, and it was 1989.
So I was 5 years old when I left, and we came in August of 1989.
It was during the summertime when my parents decided to go visit my uncle, Tío Jorge, and his family in San Antonio, Texas.
we took a train. So from Mexico, I'm gonna say probably Mexico City. That would make more sense. But we lived in Ecatepec. And it's probably like, I want to say maybe 40 to 45 minutes away from Mexico City. It's like on the outskirts. So my guess, it's most likely, it must have been a train commuting from Mexico City to Laredo, Texas, actually. Nowadays, they don't have that train service anymore. And I remember I was like a little kiddo, 5 years old, and I remember like the rumble, like the movement of the train, and I'm just like trying to keep my balance. My dad came before us. Like he had established a carpentry business in Mexico. And then at the time, his older brother, my uncle Jorge, he had already been assigned to San Antonio because he worked for the Mexican international relations department.
Once my parents decided to settle in the United States, we started to attend a church. So a lot of the members from our church were very welcoming and heartwarming, and they helped us out along with my uncle and his family.
And then our uncle picked us up, my uncle Jorge, and we stayed with him at his apartments for I don't know how long, but it did seem quite a bit. I guess my mom or my dad really liked San Antonio, and we had like a little family meeting. And I was little. I was like 5, right? Yeah. And my sister both were little too. And so we had a family meeting, and so my dad asked us if we wanted to stay, and we all as a family agreed. Because he traveled back to Mexico to sell all of our stuff from our home, like I guess electronics, anything he was able to sell off to get some money out of it. So we'd have some sort of like income to be able to get an apartment of our own. And this was through the help of a church that we, I'd say like they were like the dominant help when we first arrived. It's in San Antonio, and it's a Christian church. So like I suppose my dad went one day to ask for like some assistance, and they helped him with open arms, and our family too. It was really cute. Like to this day, we still like have love towards that particular church and the members of that church. They brought in, once we got our own apartment, our own place, they brought in like furniture, sofas. Wow. Yeah, it was really sweet of them.
It was mixed emotions because I didn't want to leave my friends behind, but at the same time I wanted to see what the United States was like. In my 10-year-old mind, I was picturing a futuristic city, but once we got to Texas, it was different. It was a culture shock, that's for sure.
Family ties, like really strong family bonds with my grandma. I remember we would like frequent my grandma's house probably like every Sundays. It had like there was like that warmth, that feeling of like love, and like I guess food surrounds that communal love space. And then my cousins and my uncles. There was a moment where I think my dad had heard that they were looking for like workers in like up north of Texas, and that they had promised them that they were going to help them get their papers or like some sort of work permit up north. And so he decided, okay, well, let's take the family. And so we ended up taking, he purchased a car here in Texas, and we ended up driving to Ohio. I don't know how many days that took, but here we are driving to Ohio. And it must have been during like winter time, because it got really cold. Like I was always cold. Another like little moment of like the church in San Antonio that helped us out Like my father ran out of gas. Like he didn't have gas to make it back to San Antonio. So he called the brothers, the church that helped us in San Antonio, and they connected us with the church in Ohio that helped us with gas money, basically. But the car was breaking down, right? Like there was some sort of thing that needed to get repaired. And true story, because I do remember this. There was like a hitchhiker that was asking for a ride, and my dad said, I don't know why I decided to pick him up, and I never would, but I just figured, well, you know, let's go for it. And so he picked him up, and he was sitting next to me and Sandra, and he had like this very like essence of like energy, like really good energy. Like I was like smiling and giggling with Sandra. I don't know why, because he was sitting next to us on the back of the seat of the car. We were all kind of like tight, I guess. And then the car was still not working, so he ended up helping my dad repair it. Yeah, that was really cool. Like,
that's lucky.
So, yeah, that was like it happened for a reason. So my dad, like, I guess made a pit stop, and then the guy, and he spoke English, so he somehow managed to communicate with Dad that, you know, he was gonna get some tools because he knew that place, like the pit, like the gas station that we stopped at. So he went around back and came with some tools and started repairing like the engine or some sort of like on the front hood. So this is the crazy part though, Aaron. A few seconds later, my dad turns around and he disappears. Nowhere to be found. And he went looking for him. He even walked behind the gas station. There were some men around, and he asked the men like if they knew where the person that helped him repair his car went. And then he's like, well, what are you talking about? We haven't seen anyone besides you. Yeah. And we drove back to San Antonio. But my dad didn't have enough money to make rent again. And so he ended up, this is another part of like the community at the church, the local church that we frequented. So he reached out to the person that sold him his car, which was also a member of the church. And he asked him, hey, you know, is it okay if I sell this car back to you? And he let him sell it back to him, so he got enough money to get the same apartment where we lived and make rent. And then he started looking for a job. So
I believe my parents wanted us to get a better education and a better lifestyle for us. They wanted like us to be successful in life.
Started school, and I think that really helped kind of for me and Sandra and Carla and Cito too to adapt fairly quickly in the sense that we were picking up English more so.
Well, it was kind of weird because, I mean, a lot of people from Texas speak Spanish, but it's a different kind of Spanish, but we were able to get along and communicate with other people. But like for example, in school, they would assign us bilingual students to assist us in our classes. And obviously we had the ESL class, the English for speaking, English for
second language.
Yeah, it's like a second language. Yeah.
I was scared in the first few days. I remember I was in kindergarten, and they had like their own little restroom.
Yeah.
It was connected to our own classroom. And one time I just went inside the restroom and then just stayed put. I was like, I want to go outside. I don't want to. And I remember I was praying too. I was praying. I was like, I don't know. I guess I felt I was scared. But what helped was I had bilingual teachers.
Yeah.
They were really nice. And so they helped kind of like ease that transition. But also, I think then soon after they got all of us into English as a second language, ESL class. So like we were in our kindergarten class, but then like they would like take us out and do like mini ESL sessions with other like new students who were coming from other places of the world. So we were like the messengers. And sometimes like in the beginning I was kind of like, oh, you know, it wasn't too bad, but then there were some technical words. I'd be like, I don't know what that means. How do I translate it? Or how do I interpret things?
But overall, I got kind of, I think I got pretty good to the point where like right now, I'm like, oh, it's so easy.
Yeah.
And yesterday we were watching a movie and I was just like helping because they didn't have the audio in Spanish. And they really wanted to see it, my mom. And so I was kind of like adding commentary, like a little quick commentary for her to get the gist of the movie.
What surprised me was that, specifically in Texas, we realized that it was really, really hot during the summertime. And it was long days. The sun didn't go down until after 8 o'clock almost in the summertime. And everywhere you would go, there was air conditioning. So we weren't used to that.
Okay, this is it for me. My eyes were open. Like, wow, this is a whole new world. It really got me very attuned to, like, there's a big world out there. And I was very, like, I guess perceptive or very, like, I started picking up how people, like, the behaviors of people. Like, to me, I'm always fascinated how people act or how they behave.
Yeah.
Because I think at a very young age, I started, like, seeing that through the eyes of a little kid based on, like, my experience living in one country and then coming to another one and learning a new language. And it was very, like, new, and it opened my eyes to, like, the world is pretty big.
My biggest challenge would have to be to, I would say, like, try to stay competitive in my different occupations that I've had throughout the years. So I've always tried to do the best I can in the every situation, every job I've had. So that's it.
Oh, okay. Ooh, I can answer that one, but it's kind of, okay, this is tricky because I graduated from university, and after I graduated, I traveled, and I wanted to experiment if teaching English to others would be something that I would like to do. And I tried it for a bit, I dabbled on it. And so I did that when I was in the Czech Republic.
Yeah.
But then, that didn't really speak to me. I'm like, it was a good try, but now what? Once that exploration finished, I was kind of like, well, now I'm in Mexico. And in Mexico, I enjoyed it. I was happy to connect with my cousins, my aunts, but it was weird because I hadn't seen them since 1997, I think. And I came back in 2009. So that was like, it was weird. I was getting to know them again, even though like they're family. Ever since then, I've been doing like freelancing, but I'm always kind of like, it would be nice to, that's been my challenge, having like a professional long-term gig. And who knows, I'm thinking maybe in the November elections, if a Democratic presidential candidate is elected, that might open an avenue for me to obtain a work permit, and that would be really exciting because then I have more opportunities to pursue in different places, like in the tech companies I really am interested in. So we'll see. That's sort of been my challenge though.
Since the 2016 election, there have been numerous racially charged events occurring in America.
Some examples being the wall being built to keep immigrants out,
Poverty in neighborhoods,
racial profiling by the police.
In 2020, we need to vote for a president who will care about all of America's citizens.
In 2017, beliefs seated in racism turned to violence when peaceful protesters were attacked by white supremacists in Charlottesville, Virginia on August 12th. Rally attendees shouted, "You will not replace us," and "White Lives Matter." Others who came to address the racist messages shouted, "Black Lives Matter," and sang prayer songs that represented love and peace. The 700-plus people defending their beliefs on equality were physically attacked with fists, feet, weapons, pepper spray, and even automobiles.
And you have, you had a group on one side that was bad, and you had a group on the other side that was also very violent. And nobody wants to say that, but I'll say it right now. I think there's blame on both sides. You look at both sides. I think there's blame on both sides, and I have no doubt about it, and you don't have any doubt about it either. Very fine people on both sides.
As aforementioned, these violent protests are only going to get worse.
Could you see how one could see how the way that we are pursuing and charging white supremacy, particularly if they tend to be charged with hate crimes, and where that same type of violence committed by a Muslim extremist could be charged with domestic terrorism. Hate crimes and domestic terrorism are treated and charged, they're different crimes, and they could be pursued differently with different resource allocations.
Acts of violence aren't the only things hurting citizens of color. Institutional racism systematically places challenges on minority groups. An example, redlining, although made illegal in the 1970s, still continues to affect minorities.
Redlining was occurring. Redlining was a practice that was quite legal at the time, or certainly was carried out, where simply the banks would draw a circle around communities and would not make loans. So even if you were a middle-class African American in Detroit or in St. Louis or in Los Angeles, you could not get a loan to purchase a home.
Redlining occurs in predominantly black or ghetto neighborhoods because of the people who decided to draw the lines were wealthy white men. Blacks could not get bank loans, and white neighborhoods prospered, such as the community known as Levittown. Their property values have continued to increase, while in the black neighborhoods, people's property values have not, and the neighborhoods have become run down. When combined with the unfair funding system of education, you get a wide disparity of quality education. Congressman John Kecko has concerns.
You go to FM has a lot more facilities, a lot more money available to them than the Syracuse City School District, for example. The perceived inequity based on property values, and I don't pretend to have the magic answer to that. It's not my area of expertise, but it is a concern that I have. And obviously, the Syracuse City School District does not have the same amount of funding that the suburban schools do, and I am concerned about the inequity and the level of education for sure.
Even though the case of Brown versus the Board of Education in May 17, 1954 legally ended segregation in schools, the financial stranglehold of redlining has left a school system that is still segregated.
The environment is a little bit more different. With suburban schools, they're really isolated, so they can keep to themselves in a little bubble.
Other government policies predominantly affect minority neighborhoods. Physical barriers such as the building of Highway Interstate 81 in Syracuse. This roadway literally separated neighborhoods, which increased the racial divide and led to neighborhoods lacking diversity.
They went through a lot of the black neighborhoods, and when it did that, it caused a lot of people to move out of Syracuse.
I think the project that they're doing is actually pretty good. The redesign is great because we need that remodel.
At presidential rallies in the United States, citizens have chanted, "Build the wall." And over the past few years, immigrants have been a target of verbal and physical attacks.
I came through the country legally, and it was a really long process, a very difficult process. We're a democratic society, and we're a diverse country, so we should definitely accept everyone with love and respect.
We have a widespread of immigration based in the United States, so I think it should be a more appropriate standard if we have a better chance to allow different people from different countries to come to America to have a better start over.
To this country legally, I don't think you rightfully deserve to be in this country.
Asylum seekers and immigrants have been placed in detention centers with unfavorable living conditions.
And the number of minority groups continues to rise in the U.S. It is time to address our stated concerns of minorities living in a cycle of poverty and immigration. And we are just scratching the surface because race also affects hiring practices, police profiling, and a large percentage of minorities who are incarcerated. 2020 will provide an opportunity to make the United States a place where equality reigns free.
World, you really can't win if you're Black, Latino, and you're a female. We really gotta fight 10 times harder for what we want.
Our next president needs to value all human life as valuable and encourage Congress to write laws that are fair and consistent.
Documentary categories: Onward, FM High School. Upstate, A Skater's Home, FM High School. And Race for Our Future, first place, ESM High School.
This year, the animation category was merged with the time-lapse category. Please enjoy the videos the students have made.
We have animations and time lapses.
My heart just got stuck between these loops. My mind got stuck in between these groups. They don't want me, but it's okay. Now my heart knows how to stay away. Right now it's like 2 in the morning, and I can't make a lot of noise because I don't want to wake up anybody. Post on the gram, everybody liking. Took the switch off, now I'm back to typing. 1 mil on the tube, I am back to shining. They want some features, I'm not into pricing. Now they be wanting something from me. I don't mind cause I'm happy. I fight strong and rap killer be rising, got jutsu shining. Yeah. Bands, that's all they want. That's all they want, yeah. Bands. My heart went oops, yeah. My heart just got stuck between these loops. My mind got stuck in between these groups. They don't want me, but it's okay. Now my heart knows how to stay away. Bands, that's all they want. I am Mr. Come on down. Getting that bag does not fuel me. Eat, work, sleep, then I repeat. I get the bag and invest. Destination, no, this is a quest. I cannot stop when I see a stop sign. I get the bag and invest. Destination, no, this is a quest. I cannot stop when I see a stop sign. I cannot stop when I see a stop sign. Okay. So what? Yeah. Oops. Yeah. My heart just got stuck between these loops. My mind got stuck in between these groups. They don't want me, but it's okay. Now my heart knows how to stay away.
As many of you may know, Dance Marathon is a 12-hour dance held at our school, where all the money raised goes to Camp Good Days. This summer, I was given the opportunity to spend a week at Camp Good Days. Camp Good Days is a camp for kids who have had or have been impacted by cancer. The week that I went was called Camp Best, which was for children who had a parent or sibling lose their battle to cancer. At camp, I got to meet Zach, one of the campers in my cabin. I spent the week talking to Zach about his interests, dreams, and most importantly, how cancer had impacted his family. Throughout the week, I was also able to meet many other campers, and it was very touching to see how happy and energetic they were despite the hardships that they faced. Not only did I meet campers, but I was also able to become very close with the CITs and counselors, where we all realized what the true cause of camp and DM were really about. With DM only 2 months away, I encourage all of you to get involved to help support the cause. Camp Good Days was truly a life-changing week for me, and I wouldn't trade the experiences and memories that I made for anything else. Every effort that we make to send as many kids to camp makes a big difference in their lives.
And the animation category, third place, the Golden Gates, Jamesville DeWitt High School. Second place, DM Promo from FM High School. And first place, My Heart Went Oops, CNS High School.
And our next category is music videos.
You have to bring that camera way down. There we go.
There you go. Alright, cue the music.
Baby, get low, cause I already am. Staring through a skirt like I'm Superman. My hair at an inch, your boy Dapper Dan. I always look fit, I ain't got a cram. Cut shorty off cause I'm short term. Controlling my joystick, now it's your turn. I don't listen to a chirp, bro, the show bird. Dudes bent out of shape cause they got curved. Standing 5'8", voice 6'5". Your whole whip cracking cause it's short guys.
I'm 5 foot something, but my bills I'll pay. On my tippy toes from LA to the Bay. Going off the deep end, chill in the shallow. You don't need your heels, girl, just bring a towel. I'm 5 foot something and I'm royalty. Short king, mama, hey. I'm 5 foot something and I'm royalty. Short king, mama, hey. Ain't no must be this all the ride. I'm a fun size, super nice guy. I'm 5 foot something and I'm royalty. Short king, mama, hey, shorty.
On my shirt tag say XN. Got girls saying I'm their best friend. Pants not cuffed, they just hem. She all in my hot spot cause she tethering. Still stand tall, I don't need height. Using all my words, I ain't gotta fight. The glove only comes off at night. Give my shirt to her, bet it fit right. Stunning in my platform shoes. I serenade, you just built like a flute. In the airport lounge, sipping free booze. In economy, still got leg room.
I'm 5 foot something, but my bills I'll pay. On my tippy toes from LA to the Bay. Going off the deep end, chill in the shallow. You don't need your heels, girl, just bring a towel. I'm 5 foot something and I'm royalty. Short king, mama, hey. I'm 5 foot something and I'm royalty. Short king, mama, hey. Ain't no must be this all the ride. I'm a fun size, super nice guy. I'm 5 foot something and I'm royalty. Short king, mama, hey, short.
When I was young, I never needed anyone. Those days are gone. Living alone, I think of all the friends I've known. But when I dial the telephone, nobody's home. All by myself, don't wanna be all by myself anymore. All by myself, don't wanna live all by myself anymore. Hard to be sure. Sometimes I feel so insecure, and love so distant and obscure remains the cure. Oh
glass, my mind of stone. Days in a lovely room. Holy glass, my mind of stone. Days in a lovely room. Holy glass, my mind of stone. Everything says, skin bone.
Yeah, he's not ready.
Let's go.
Bro, you need that. Are you kidding me? You're going into war. You need that.
Chris, where are you? Dang, it's like a week before Black Friday.
I just wanted to be the first to mine so I could get the PS4.
Good afternoon. This is your captain speaking with just a little.
And for music videos, third place, Life in LA, JD High School. Second place, Eilish versus REM, Baker High School. And first place, Cancun, Jamesville DeWitt High School.
The original film category is one of our most popular. The students are tasked with producing, writing, and creating their own short film. Please enjoy the selection.
powder my nose, he will powder his gums, and if I try to get close, he is already gone. Don't know where he's going, don't know where he's been, but he's restless at night, 'cause he has horrible dreams. So we lay in the dark, we got nothing to say, just the beating of hearts like two drums in the grave. I don't know what we're doing, I don't know what we've done, but the fire's coming, so I think we should run, I think we should run, 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 run. Put on my shoes, will button his coat, and we will step outside, checking that the coast is clear on both sides. 'Cause we don't wanna be seen now, this is suicide. You can't see the ropes, and I won't tell my mother. It's better she don't know, and he won't tell his folks, 'cause they're already ghosts, and we'll just keep each other as safe as we can until we reach the border, until we make our plan to run, 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 to run, 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 to run, 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 run. Will you stay with me, my love, for another day? 'Cause I don't want to be alone when I'm in this state. Will you stay with me, my love, till we're old and gray? 'Cause I don't wanna be alone when these bones decay.
Make a wish.
Happy birthday.
Attention all students. It has been reported that one of our students is missing again. Everyone please stay safe. If anyone sees Kathy Barnes, please report to the police immediately.
This is the third kid this week. Like, what is going on?
Sleeping with your eyes wide open.
I was with you. I had a great time. If I was in a Turkish prison, I'd have a great time with you.
I don't know, it's just too weird for me, you know? Maybe this shouldn't happen.
What, you and me? Well, you know, maybe it doesn't happen all the time. It doesn't mean it isn't right, right? Doesn't mean we can't try. Feel any better if I asked you to the prom? I mean, I know the prom's kind of lame, so if you don't want to go, it's really no big deal.
I was in a Turkish prison then. Wait. Just because this doesn't work all the time doesn't mean it isn't right. I know the prom is kind of lame.
I love being with you guys all the time, skating, because it's all we wanted to do. It's amazing. And I couldn't love who I'm with any more than I love you guys. I wasn't exactly lonely or a complete outcast before I met you guys, but I just didn't know where I fitted in, or I didn't know what to do really. I couldn't find that one thing. You know what I mean? And I got my first board, and I remember you guys just saw me instantly, and without any hesitation, you guys just came right up to me and were straight up, come skate with us. Come skate with us. Come be our damn friend. Come join us and do dumb shit, but let's do this dumb shit together.
Well, it was 8th grade, so yeah, 4. That's crazy though. 4 years ago.
Look where we are now, making it big.
You know, I didn't really have a place to fit in when I was little. I was so worried about that when I was young, but you guys taught me that I belonged wherever the hell I wanted to belong to, and I'm forever grateful for you. I never looked back from you guys. You guys helped me in a bigger way than you think.
Outside walking, I got caught in the rain. Tipsy cars driving by me, crowd in a lane. Oh, I'm sorry, I got lost in my brain. All of these voices, not one of them saying the same thing. Never mind, never change with the times. I feel at home in the pines where the sun never shines. And I hope every line of mine goes straight against the grain. Come on, 315, call it the Pines. I was born, raised here, and now I reside. And I rely on what I find familiar. If I can find a way to get myself out of here and make
It's not that I hate my family or anything, they just aren't supportive. They want me to stay in Syracuse, but I want to get out of the city. I met this guy named Jared on Instagram. He's so supportive and he really understands what I'm going through right now. He just gets me. School sucks, and this year it seems like nothing is going right for me. I'm more mature than my classmates, and sometimes they can be really annoying and rude. I can't ever get any time to sit and think. I decided to go talk to my guidance counselor to see if he could offer me any advice about college, and he wasn't very helpful. I just want to make sure I pick the perfect college.
Well, life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.
Oh, I met with my counselor today, and he gave me this stupid quote from Forrest Gump about how I'm going to find my college.
Where do you think you're gonna go?
I'm just going to take off, go to, Boston, LA, New York, look some schools out there that's out of Syracuse, far away from here.
I don't blame you. Syracuse is boring.
It is. There's only a couple schools here, and, everyone goes to the same schools, and I'm just not having any part of that.
Here, you can have my pepperoni.
I only like cheese.
Thanks for coming out. It was nice to see you. Be safe.
Will do. After eating lunch with Katie, I think she was right. I need to look at other places, but before I look around, I want to give my local college one more shot.
I looked up and the next thing I knew, couldn't get you off of
my mind, you're like
Syracuse is nice and all, but to me it feels a little boring and there's not much to do in the local spots. It's kind of dead.
think about the next day, you're all I could talk about. I wish you would have come and talked for a while. How can I forget your sincerely sweet smile?
LA is beautiful and so sunny, unlike Syracuse.
Love at first sight, so bittersweet.
I really want to get to know what's around, so I'm spending the day at Disneyland.
How can someone say that love's a game when I'm in love with a boy without a name?
Hey, Pete, so I'm here in Disneyland taking a break from some visits in Halle. And yeah, my phone's been a little glitchy, so hopefully this gets through to you. I'll see you soon at home.
Reached out to police officials after a boy online named Jared popped up and tried to meet her at a public location. Brent Sobel feels badly by those who were tricked by his shirtless photos.
You know, I feel really awful as this is happening. Like, somebody's getting hurt and it's awful. I mean, I'm a nice guy. I mean, if you check out my Instagram account, HotGuy2022, you can see that I'm a nice guy. I mean, I feel awful about this stuff though.
Police remind you to stay vigilant in this ongoing investigation.
Catfishing is a very serious thing, and everybody should be watching out for this lately. It's a pretty big crime that's been going on.
That's why I turned my snap maps off, just so people can't follow me.
Police are unable to identify him at this time.
Flying home from LA and heading off to Boston. When I told Jared I was going to Boston, he said I should look at Northeastern, so I knew that had to be my first stop. I ran out of cash, so I'm spending the night in my car. Boston seems pretty safe, so it should be fine.
What was that?
Police have informed us they've identified the man in our earlier story on catfishing.
HotGuy2022.
You wonder why he's Hot Guy 2022? Because I'm Hot Guy 2021.
Original film, Under a Wooden Wing, FM High School. Second place, Stolen Carnations, FM High School. And first place, The Collector, Baker High School.
The next category is PSAs and commercials.
You've already met Kiki on FMTV, and now it's possible to meet her in real life. One of Kiki's handlers, Miss Pierce in the counseling office, is the go-to person to arrange a visit with Kiki. Though Kiki is irresistibly adorable, it's important to treat her with respect. As a handler, Miss Pierce is a pro on how to approach Kiki.
It's really good, I think, for most dogs actually, to sort of just gently put your hand near her and let her come to you. She's really friendly and really well trained, and that's sort of the key to the success of a therapy dog program. You need a well-trained dog, and Mr. DeForest and Mrs. Gilbert and I have been working. Mrs. Gilbert has been working for a couple years. We've joined that team this past summer and done a bunch of training together. So we're really confident in Kiki's ability, and we've already seen the joy that she can bring to people.
To learn about our other incoming therapy dogs, stay tuned. For FMTV, I'm Claire.
She fill my mind up with ideas. I'm the highest in the room. Hope I make it out of here. She saw my eyes, she know I'm gone. I see some things that you might fear. I'm doing a show, I'll be back soon. That ain't what she wanna hear. No. Now I got it in my room.
The AP test online this year, we're giving you some tips to help navigate the new format. Here's a look at the top of the notch, randy dandy, run of the mill, run of the muck, baby bottom smooth student taking their tests now. Tip number 1. You can take the test at any device, including your desktop, laptop, smartphone, rotary phone, even refrigerator, for all I care. Tip number 2. Please, for the love of all things holy unholy, don't cheat. The FBI is always watching. Tip number 3. Given the strict, square, clear-cut time structure of the tests, you cannot leave your testing location to relieve yourself in the bathroom. Please go beforehand. Or, if you take it on your phone, you can do the whole thing on the toilet. Tip number 4. Before you take the test, be well prepared. Know the ins, outs, ups, down, left, rights, overs, and unders of all your subjects. These tests are the final assessment of what you've learned all year. With this format, you'll get 1, maybe 2 questions to prove your worth. So show 'em what you got. You're a 5, baby.
Category of PSA commercials. Don't send it, from ITC. Second place, New York Tough, from Liverpool High School. And first place, AP Test Tips from Baker News, Baker High School.
Next category coming up for you guys is talk shows.
You got something? Wait.
No ketchup?
Yeah.
Oh.
Welcome to the first installment of Students Sitting Amongst Student Art on Baker News. I'm your host today, Skylar Yurden. I'm sitting with Baker's newest, freshest, fanciest English teacher, Mr. Allen.
I'm the new assistant principal. Well, thanks for having me here. It's great to be at Baker. I'm super excited to be here.
So what excites you most about your job here?
Being around the students, it's awesome. It's a great atmosphere. The students here at Baker have this amazing presence, and I love it. It's great. It's great here.
I mean, you don't have to lie to me.
No, really.
I really appreciate it.
No, that's really why. I'm excited about it.
I asked you to do this interview. I thought it might be fun. Maybe I'd just get to know you a little bit. And now you're gonna lie to me. I didn't want you to lie, Maeve. Oh, I hear your dream as a child was to become a professional photographer.
Not even close.
So you're saying I'm wrong?
I wanted to be a professional skydiver.
Oh.
Wind in your face, mouth going, craziness.
What'd you do to the cafeteria?
Isn't it awesome? Oh, wait, whoa. That started before I got here, but it's going to be amazing when it's done. It's going to be state of the art. It's going to be opened up. It's going to be amazing. You're going to have the little coffee cafe for you guys. It's a coffee cafe.
You wax your head?
What kind of question's that? Seriously?
I like it. I mean, I like it. I want to do something like that with my hair.
What do you want to do when you grow up?
This, probably.
You might want to think of make a different plan. It's pretty competitive. You kind of have to, anyway.
What do you think that smell is?
Okay, yeah.
I really hope I didn't get poison ivy. Can you like touch it? See?
I think I'm good.
How old are you?
Seriously, Skylar?
Don't Skylar me. Come on. What was I saying? Do you think you'll overthrow Mr. Denton as the best principal in the building?
Where are we going with this?
Why don't you use a Boston accent when you're in school?
Why would I use a Boston accent in school?
What's wrong with that? They're people too. I really think I got poison ivy. You sure you won't touch it?
I think I'm good. I think we're good. I think I'm good. Nobody's gonna watch this anyway. Nobody's gonna watch this. It's all good.
Well, thank you, Mr. Allen. It's been a pleasure. This has been Students Sitting Amongst Student Art with Other People. Thank you very much. Back to you in the studio.
Welcome one and all to the inaugural episode of Plu's True Movie Reviews, where all of Plu's reviews are true. We'll start this series reviewing some of the greatest films of each decade, starting in the 1960s. On today's show, we shall be reviewing Stanley Kubrick's 1968 film 2001: A Space Odyssey. In this film, extraterrestrials leave technology on Earth and the Moon millions of years ago to influence the evolution of apes on the planet. Fast forward to 2001, and scientists on Earth have uncovered this technology on the moon and are attempting to track down the life forms that left it there. Now, this film just so happens to be one of my personal favorite films of all time. I recently rewatched 2001: A Space Odyssey for what must have been the third or fourth time, and I forgot how much I really appreciate the originality and flawless execution of every aspect of this film. First off, Kubrick's cinematography in this film is extraordinary. Every shot is absolutely beautiful and meaningful, with incredible music and motion melding the audio-visual world for the viewer. In addition to the eye candy on screen, the story put forth by Kubrick is very intriguing and still relevant today. The battle between human and machine, portrayed by Keir Dullea David Bowman and the voice of Douglas Rain as the HAL 9000 computer, is quite thrilling to watch.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
What are you talking about, Hal?
This conversation can serve no purpose anymore. Goodbye.
Although I find this movie to be amazing in many ways, for some the film can drag or be found boring. Understandably so, as there is no dialogue in the film until about 30 minutes in. However, a patient audience will definitely fall in love with this film. So for a brilliant story, flawless cinematography, and visuals that were unparalleled at the time, Stanley Kubrick's 2001: A Space Odyssey receives a 10 out of 10. Love the movie, love the director, couldn't be better. See you next time on Plu's True Movie Reviews.
Jack squared.
This Valentine's Day, would you rather get candy and a teddy bear?
Wait, what? Enzo, what is the number one thing you want your mother to get you for Valentine's Day?
Oh my goodness. Probably dinner.
Quinn, what year is Valentine's Day?
1900s. I don't know. Wait, what year? 2001.
How much protein powder are you going to be consuming on Valentine's Day?
Well, since I'll be spending it alone.
Do you not understand it?
No.
What do you not get?
Candy and a teddy bear?
Yeah.
Or
what?
What?
What's your favorite Valentine's Day candy so I can get it for you right now?
Oh my gosh, that's so sweet. Sweet tart.
No.
Kat, how do you feel that your name rhymes with Valentine's Day?
I don't even know how to answer that.
Pat, if yesterday is tomorrow's Thursday, how many Valentines...
Circle. Since Valentine's Day is approaching, I ask you, who is the most powerful Sith Lord?
Darth Maul.
Admiral Akbar.
He did the monster mash. The monster mash. It was a graveyard smash. He did the mash. It caught on in a flash. He did the mash.
Boo. Just kidding. Today on Halloween, we're not doing anything scary. With the period 3 Brojo class, we're going to see how much they know about Halloween. Grace, during Halloween, what's more popular, chocolate candy or like the sour candy?
I'm gonna have to go with the chocolate candy.
I like sweeter candy because I have a better sugar tooth, but I think chocolate candy is more popular because chocolate's a prevalent candy.
You're great. You're awesome. That was right. Kendra, which state has the biggest Halloween Day parade? Cade, is a pumpkin a fruit or a vegetable?
It is a vegetable.
Wrong.
New York City.
That's not a state. Hunter, in 2015, what was the most popular dog costume?
A cat.
A taco.
No. Guys, originally, when people would go trick-or-treating, what would they have to do to get candy?
Go up to the door and say trick or treat.
Go up and say trick or treat.
Knock on the door and say trick or treat.
Okay, you're both wrong. They used to have to dance. Could you guys please demonstrate what you would do to get candy if you still had to do this?
Talk shows. Third place, Jack Squared Valentine's Day, FM High School. What does FM know? Halloween, FM High School. And first place, Plu's True Movie Reviews, Episode 1, 2001 A Space Odyssey, FM High School.
The quarantine category is new this year and will include any video that was created since quarantine began back in March.
It's way out in the distance. apparently rotating in a very rhythmic fashion because the flashes come around almost on time. As we look back at the Earth, it's up at about 11 o'clock, about maybe 10 or 12 Earth diameters. I don't know whether that does you any good, but there's something out there.
My name is Smitesh.
And તમારું પોઝિશન અહીંયા સ્ટોરમાં?
મારી પોઝિશન એઝ અ મેનેજર.
મારું નામ ભાવિનીબેન પટેલ. હું અહીંયા કેશિયર ઉપર કામ કરું છું.
કોનું બોલો?
ના ના એમ કે એ બેગો 50-20 ની ચલા વેચરો કેવું કે
અમાર નહીં રાખવી એમ કે રાખો તો પછી અંકલ કમા
ઇઝ લેવાનું ડિફિકલ્ટી છે?
યસ 100%. આ કોવિડ-19 ચાલવાથી અત્યારે થોડો સરપ્રાઈઝ થોડો બહુ મુશ્કેલ છે. મળે છે પણ એ પણ ઇનફ નથી મળતો.
દિવેશ તકલીફ કે જે અમને ખ્યાલ જ નથી આવતો કે કોને થયેલો છે કોને નથી થયો, તો પૈસા અડવાની તકલીફ જે કે અડવાથી એમ થાય કે આમાં હશે કેમ કે પૈસા એ છે ક્રેડિટ કાર્ડ છે એ બધાને ટચ કરવાથી કંઈ એ મોટી થોડી ચિંતા હતી કે
આપણે પી લઈ જાઓ.
હા તો લઈ પીજો ભાઈ.
જો નીતિન હાથી કહું, તું મારો ભાઈ, હું તને ગમે ત્યાં ફોન કરું ને ઉપાડવાનું.
સપ્લાયર પહેલાં જે ડિલિવરી કરતા અત્યારે અમારે પોતાની ટ્રકો મોકલવી પડે છે, પ્લસ અમારે પોતાનું રેન્ટ આપવું પડે છે ટ્રકોનું, એટલે અત્યારે થોડું ડિફિકલ્ટ છે.
કોણ ખોલ્યું? ઓનિયન તો ઉતરી જો વધો નહીં ખોલ્યું. पनीर तो आगे आ जाओ उस तरफ.
એડ્રેસ આપી અને અમને કહીએ કે તમે ઈમેલ ઉપર જ તમારો ઓર્ડર રેડી લખીને રાખો, તો અમે તમારો સ્ટફ રેડી રાખી અને ઓર્ડર ફોન ઉપર જ પેમેન્ટ કરી દો અને અમે તમારો બોક્સ બહાર રાખી એટલે તમે તમારા બોક્સ બહારથી જ પિકઅપ કરી લો, જેથી કરીને અંદર બધા ભેગા ના થાય અને ડિસ્ટન્સ સચવાઈ દે.
take it in, but don't look down. 'Cause I'm on top of the world, eh? I'm on top of the world, eh? Been waiting on this for a while now, paying my dues to the dirt. I've been waiting to smile, eh? Been holding it in for a while, eh? Take you with me if I can. Been dreaming of this since a child. I'm on top of the world. I've tried to cut these corners, try to take the easy way out. I kept on falling short of something. I could have gave up then, but then again I couldn't have, 'cause I've traveled all this way for something. I take it in, but don't look down. 'Cause I'm on top of the world, eh? I'm on top of the world, eh? Been waiting on this for a while now, paying my dues to the dirt. I've been waiting to smile, eh? Been holding it in for a while, eh? Take you with me if I can. Been dreaming of this since a child. I'm on top of the world.
It is vital that our nation discuss and address the threat of pandemic flu now. There is no pandemic flu in our country or in the world at this time. But if we wait for a pandemic to appear, it will be too late to prepare. Scientists and doctors cannot tell us where or when the next pandemic will strike or how severe it'll be. But most agree, at some point we are likely to face another pandemic. A pandemic is a lot like a forest fire. If caught early, it might be extinguished with limited damage. If allowed to smolder, undetected, it can grow to an inferno that spreads quickly beyond our ability to control it.
This is the end, beautiful friend. This is the end, my only friend. The end of our elaborate plans. The end of everything that stands. The end. No safety or surprise, the end. I'll never look into your eyes again. Can you picture what will be so limitless and free? Desperate of some stranger's hand in a desperate land.
happy to know that as you saw me go, I was singing this song. We'll meet again. Don't know where, don't know where, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day.
In the quarantine category, SIP by from C.W. Baker School, 3rd place. 2nd place, In Their Hands, FM High School. And 1st place, Pandemonium, Panama, The Madness Within FM High School. Each year, the film festival gives an award called the Heidelberger Award. It's named after one of the co-founders of the film festival, Kyle Heidelberger. And this award usually either picks the best filmmaker in this year's festival for one amazing video, or it recognizes the best filmmaker for a contribution of many films that are very good. And so we'll pass it along to Jeff Newell to announce this year's recipient.
Thank you, Mr. Ferris. Pich Chet came to the United States from Cambodia just before high school and has excelled in all areas of media throughout her 4 years in ITC's Media Communications program here in Syracuse. Pich's work has been so outstanding that she has earned internships with SCSD's Communications Department and WCNY's TV studios. She has her own YouTube channel where she has over 90,000 subscribers, and she has recently been accepted with scholarship to SU's Newhouse School of Communications to study broadcasting. With that being said, I am beyond thrilled to announce Pich Chet as the winner of the coveted Heidelberger Award. Your name will be going right there, Pich. Congratulations, well deserved.
Thank you for all those who submitted work to the Film Fest this year, and especially thank you to Mr. Ferris and Mrs. Hammond for helping us make this possible. Congratulations to all those who won an award, and best of luck in your future endeavors.